All right, guys, thank you so much for being on our team call tonight. We have a very special guest. I am so excited to hear from this chick. I was just saying I've been stalking her all over the place. I knew about Tulin a while ago, but being in the Shift Shop test group with her has been on a whole nother level of motivation and inspiration, and I've been lucky enough to get to know her a little bit more through that, as well as through the 5-Star Diamond group that we're in together. So without further ado, I want to say thank you so much for being here. This is Tulin Emre. She is currently ranked number 29 in the entire company. She's a 6-star diamond coach and an SC10 all-star. And I'm not going to take up any more time. I'm just going to shoot it on over to you.
Awesome. Well, you guys, it's a more intimate group, and I love that because I really want to touch on some topics that are near and dear to your heart. And so I think it's a great opportunity to really go, if I shot some stuff out at you guys, you tell me like, yes, that's a real struggle for me. You know, that's something you really need. Like, what do we need to focus on between now and, let's say, Summit, okay, and actually through Summit. So I'm a part of that group that Carl has put together, the I'm Here to Help group, I think it's called. And it's been really, really great because in that group, we've been pushing to really, really embrace and understand getting high SC. And I know it's something that a lot of us are like, oh, but that means I'm not helping people. So, you know, do you guys want to be able to increase your success club? Do you guys want to be able to increase your recruiting in those areas that you're struggling in right now? Are you struggling with sharing who you are? Is it a combination of all three? Did I kind of hit the nail on the head? And if I did, let me know, because then that's the direction I'm going to go in. What do you guys think? You guys shoot me in the chat or anything like, no, this is like, if you could pick 1, 2, or 3, or like all three, give me some vibes. Or Andy, you give me some vibes.
I would say that, you know, hitting Success Club, I know that it's not always easy for everybody. And I know you've been blowing it out the water. So I say let's start there because I know helping that person, getting that challenge pack is the first step.
Okay. So, well, what's really cool about that is actually I'm able to tap into all three, because I think all three are really, really, really important. And so let me explain to you where I am, and then let me explain to you where I started, and we're just going to shoot past every single excuse or any kind of preconceived notion. Well, it's just because, like, isn't it often we look at people and go, well, it's just because this, or they're really good at this. It's because of this. And as soon as we say it's just because, that lowers the expectations on ourselves, and like, they're different than us. And I will tell you that I'm no different than any other coach. I'm currently sitting at 260 pounds. I started at this over 350 pounds. In the 4 years that I've been, 4.5 years I've been on this journey, it'll be 5 years in November that I've been a coach. I've had, we've overcome being broken homeless. I had absolutely no sense of self-worth. I was over 350 pounds. I don't know how far over 350 pounds because the scale didn't go any higher. For a long time, we were quoted in saying that I gained 150 pounds. My husband and I did the math about 3 weeks ago and realized I'd actually gained 180 pounds in a very short period of time. And no money to come in, anti-coaching, anti-Shakeology. If you guys have you guys seen it's been a couple years now, but have you guys seen the video that Beachbody produced on our story of overcoming broken homeless? Okay, if you haven't seen it, so some of you guys have, if you guys haven't seen it, I highly recommend that you do. It's under, if you go to YouTube, just look up Team Beachbody and just look up Tulin in the search of YouTube, and it'll come up. Go watch that video. And I'm telling you, the part that will probably make your heart stop is the picture of our minivan packed full of stuff, my son in his car seat loaded with stuff all the way around him, and just tears. And we really started at, when we started this business, there was all these reasons why we couldn't be successful. We were sitting in every single one of them. Obesity, broke, you name it, we had it. And my husband also has multiple sclerosis, and he had lost the ability to walk for 2 years. So a lot of this was a real challenge and a real struggle for us. And we didn't have the know-how. We had impressive resumes, but we had such a lack of self-worth, and really could not see the light at the end of the tunnel. It wasn't until we realized that, a light at a distance flickers and it's not off. It's on, it's just flickering. We began to realize that there was hope. Okay, so we never lost hope. There was something in our gut that told us we can pull out of this. If somebody would have said it would take you several years to recover, I probably would have lost my mind, but that's the truth. And so when we started this whole journey, the idea of Success Club, I remember the first time I hit it, It was quite by accident. I just had enough people that I'd helped that month. And my coach was like, oh, you should go do a video on that. That's a really big deal. And I said, oh, okay. And I made sure in the video that I did not say that I would be hitting Success Club every single month. As a matter of fact, I made it really, really clear that I'll hit it when I hit it. And that's just kind of where I was. And so the idea of talking to people about the coaching opportunity wasn't a push coaching. The idea of getting people set up on Shakeology, I wasn't going to push Shakeology either. So is any of this stuff kind of ringing true maybe where you were or where you are now? Are we kind of in the same vein of something like, okay, I can understand that struggle. I can understand that thing. And that's where we started. So I didn't understand the importance of Success Club. I certainly wasn't going to share the coaching. I wasn't going to share the coaching opportunities with people because I wasn't going to be pushy like that. And so that was my attitude. But I was in a really deep, dark place. So much so that on the rare occasion that I get a really nasty, you're a jerk, no, I write back and I go, you know what? I deserve that because I was really unkind to some people who were, their only intention was to help me out. And so this is a great reminder of reminding me of where I started and that things can change. And I wish you the very best. And I don't have any hard feelings about it. So I'm like, yep, there's the reminder of where you were. I was very nasty, very angry, and just sad. So sometimes when you run across people who are that nasty, we don't know the journey, the struggle that they're having, or if they even know how to overcome it. And we just kind of really take it very, very personally. And it really had nothing to do with the other person. It was just an opportunity for me to lash out because I was unhappy. So unhappy that I was an unsupportive spouse and wanted to keep my husband from his success because what if he got really fit and healthy and I wasn't choosing to, and he made a different decision in his life that didn't include me. So I was the unsupportive spouse as well. So this is where I came from. And it wasn't until I wasn't hitting high SC. So last month I hit 156 SC. I average 100 SC points a month. And there are people who get more SC points a month than I do, but I've consistently been doing that now for a couple of years. And it wasn't until that we went into the I'm Here to Help group with Carl that I realized, I'm like, you know what? I'm working at an average. I'm working at a comfort level, right? Let me answer this question real quick. How many of you guys want to know how I manage that many people on a monthly basis? If you guys have heard me speak, you know exactly what's coming. Okay. I don't manage them. My job is not to manage them. My job is to help them learn to stand on their own 2 feet. I am not their boss. I am not their employer. I'm not here to drag them towards their fitness goals. So my job is not to manage them. As a matter of fact, my job is to instill such sense of worth and for them to bring out their inner badass that I'm not here to manage them. Do things fall through the cracks? Yes. Do I take less care of people because I bring in more people? No, because I've progressively gotten better at that. So that's something that a lot of people say, well, I don't want a high SC because I really want to help people. And that's saying something to someone like me going, well, she really is not interested in helping people. She just want to crank out sales. You can't be successful at Beachbody if you're not leading with your heart and helping people. Okay. So I need to kind of put the kibosh on that because really, honestly, I tell people SC5 is not cute anymore after the first 3 months. Because if you're really here to help people, then we got to find ways to help more people. So I just want to put that out there right now. I didn't get there overnight, but it's something that I was averaging pretty consistently. None of it came easily. None of it didn't come with a lot of work. None of it didn't come with mistakes, burnouts, all the other things. But I understand that I'm in a business and business ebbs and flows. Business doesn't just go like this. Like when our business shut down, when we went broke and homeless, it wasn't because we sucked at what we did. We had a business partner who couldn't handle the success. He's now a convicted felon. You know, he's trying to turn his life around. Good for him. But he had threatened to kill 40 employees and us on Christmas Eve. So we had to do with what it took. And that involved getting rid of a company, shutting it down all of a sudden. So it wasn't because we sucked at what we did in our business. It was something that, I don't know, there was no manual on how to go broke and homeless and no manual on what to do when somebody threatens your life and the lives of the employees around you, because the police weren't going to be willing to help until you showed up with a firearm. So that's where we were. And so it wasn't until I hit diamond. I was diamond for over 2 years, 1 month, and 14 days. Somebody asked me how long I was at diamond for. I think it was in the wall. And I'm like, wow, that's really interesting. I was stuck at diamond for a long, long time. And the reason why was because I was a heart attack diamond. I would fall in and out of diamond. I was unwilling to talk to people about the coaching opportunity. And I wasn't recruiting. And I wasn't encouraging people to go from customer to coach. It wasn't until I was well into my journey and my coach says, you know what, Jimmy Hayes Nelson, I am going to recruit 100 people. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do the same thing. And there was something in my languaging that changed. And here was where the realization was. What Jimmy showed me was an opportunity. And even though I told him not to tell me about his weight loss groups or his business groups, he still found a way to make sure that I knew that those things existed. And if I didn't take Jimmy's hands, our life wouldn't have changed. Now, I didn't take his hand and have his hand go work for us. There was definitely a lot of lumps and bumps in our journey and trying to get to where we are right now, and there still is. That's business. That's building business. But if I didn't take his hand, if he listened to me and didn't tell me about the coaching opportunity, if he was like, oh, nope, she's a prickly one, I'm not going to tell her about the discount, I'm not going to tell her about the coaching opportunity, not going to tell her that she doesn't have to be broke anymore. Thank God he didn't. And when I realized that I realized that I had a gift and I had to serve other people. Now, I know it's not the first time you've heard a coach say this, because a lot of us that have this philosophy, but it's when you finally realize it, you make it your own, and you go, why am I holding this back from people? Let me give them an opportunity to say yes or no. What if Jimmy judged me by my size? What if Jimmy, because I was doing insanity, guys. I was doing 2 to 3 minutes of insanity, on the verge of vomiting, swaying side to side. I mean, I couldn't do it. Sean T did a podcast with me, and it was really this big revelation for him, and a lot of what you're seeing going on right now, where it's just like, it's about, you have to read. If you haven't listened to it, listen to the podcast. I can share the link with you. But it really was a mindset shift for him and for myself, and in how to really dig in with people and understand that we have to be willing to share our gift and allow them to say yes or no. Allow them to say yes or no. So if Jimmy didn't talk to me about a program, or if he judged me going, she's 350 pounds, I'm Jimmy with a good squat, she's not squatting, she's swaying side to side with her eyes shut because she doesn't want to look at the screen because she can't relate to the people and she wants to quit, and she's just listening to Sean, she's clearly doing it wrong. What if he said that? I wouldn't be where I am today. So when I started to realize that, I said, I'm holding things back from other people. I started telling people about the coaching opportunity. And then it began that I started telling everyone that I spoke to about the coaching opportunity. And then I got really real. And I looked at how many Success Club points I was getting. I was looking at how far I was getting. I was looking at my patterns, and I realized I was doing this. I was hitting SC5 and stopping. I would hit SC10 and I would stop, because what if there was no one else to help next month? So let me give you a compare and contrast. Last month I hit 156 SC points. Yeah, really big. I get that. That was a 180% increase from the month before. It was a 150% increase from my average. And that went with commitment. And that also took me doing things the way I normally do and actually reaching out to people. I have worked very, very hard to build my brand, which is very, very messy and just me, and to create something called inbounding. So I get a lot of inbound leads of people coming in where their relationships are built on social media, and they say, yes, I'm ready to work with you. But the thing that I realized last month is, in not reaching out to people, that there were a lot of people that really were just waiting for that invitation because they weren't ready to say, they didn't have it in them to say, can you help me? Or they didn't know how to ask that. And I understand that. I am actually an introvert. If I'm with a group of people, and if a plan is made and there's a group of people standing together, hey, we're gonna go grab some drinks at the bar, whatever your thing is, or some dinner, whatever your thing is, I would assume to this day that I am not invited unless you said, hey, Tulin, would you like to and come with us to the restaurant and come sit with us? And that was something I really had to learn to get through. I was one of those people that always needed a very specific invitation, not because I was snooty about it, but I just assumed that nobody was inviting me and that I was included. And it's something actually that my older son kind of deals with now. He's learning to work with. And so when I started reaching out to people last month, I'm like, well, that was kind of dumb. Why are you not reaching out to people and inviting them? And people were like, I really needed to hear that. Thank you that you reached out to me. That meant a lot. Did that mean that every person I reached out to felt that way? No. I mean, I got told off too, but it is what it is. I remember where I was. So that kind of gives you kind of a compare and contrast of where I was before, how I started to make that transition, and even what I realized in this past month. So what I do, you guys, is I realized that if I were here to help people, and if I had a gift of helping people, that I had to get past whatever limiting beliefs I was putting on myself, which was this number, like to only talk to this many people a day, to only get this many SC points a day. And when I found that in being too routine, that I was keeping myself back from greater potential and helping more people. I was staying within a comfort zone. Now, I'm not saying that structure isn't good, but I'm saying that when you're in growth, sometimes structure goes out the window until you can go through the process, and then you learn to work smarter. I know sometimes we want to do it the other way, and we want to have great balance in life, and I understand that. I'm all about better balance. But when you're trying to improve your life and get to that next level in your life, or be able to do that thing, whatever that is, there's not a lot of balance during that time, and growth is not a lot of balance. And that's something I've really begun to realize, because I was always trying to work for constant balance. And I realized that there are times that I can have great balance in my life, and there's times that I got to have great growth in my life. And that growth and balance don't necessarily always come together. Don't always necessarily come together. Not necessarily mean that it doesn't, but it doesn't always necessarily happen that way. So when I started in this process of Jimmy just saying, hey, I'm gonna recruit 100 coaches, I did. I last month, how many were coaches again, Graham? 60? 60,
yeah,
60 of those people were coaches.
3 times 20.
So you think, well, how are you getting all started in their coaching business? I lead with fitness. So here's my other philosophy, and whether it's yours or not, doesn't matter. This is what I did. Who am I to keep the discount away from someone else with a coaching opportunity? Because in the coaching opportunity, I can mention the discount, right? How did we all start at coaches? How many of you guys came in and said, I'm only here to build the business? Usually it's no one. Anybody come in? So Sean, okay, is it Sheena? Okay, there's always like one, right? Like you get it, like you were like way ahead of the class on all of us, and we're like, hey, we're just here to lose weight, or or get healthy, and you're like, no, I see the potential of this business, I'm coming in. So it's usually one. But for the rest of us, that's not the case. And probably even for you, Sheena, there was different incarnations of your coaching, right? Like who you were day one as a coach versus where you are now. Okay. So let's say I tell people, if they come in as a discount coach, great. I give them the opportunity to say yes or no. I tell them about the coaching opportunity. I also tell them about being a customer. It's their opportunity to say yes or no. I have lots of people who say they want to be a customer, and I thank them for their commission. I let everybody know about that. I let every single person I talk to know about 30-day money back guarantee. And every time they say no, I know it's built in fear. I never let a no go, ever, unless they're kind of, how do I say it? There's a couple of different types of people that I'm like, no, because sometimes a no is a good thing, because this relationship isn't meant to happen right now for my own good and for your own good. We're not going to be a good fit. Okay. So this is how I separate going for SC versus helping people. You see, I don't go for SC points. I receive them. I receive them for helping people. Selling a challenge pack and bailing on that person will not grow this business. Does not get you to number 29 in the company. Does not help you grow. That is not sustainable. So telling everybody about 30-day money back guarantee, giving people an opportunity to say yes or no to the coaching opportunity, understand that we all evolve differently. Somehow we become a coach and we get really serious about our business, and that will evolve many, many times. We forget that other people have to evolve in their ability as well, or their seriousness, or their understanding of the business at the different levels. They think right now they're doing it all right, and they are, but that eventually has to grow. If I still was swaying side to side to insanity like I did it over 350 pounds for 2 to 3 minutes, 4.5 years later, despite my knee injury and my foot injury, but if I were still doing that, could I still expect the same results that I got in the first 30 days of doing insanity that way? I couldn't. So it's the same thing. So it's constantly growing and evolving. You're constantly tweaking. I don't take my systems and, like, if things aren't going well, like this month, again, I don't think I contrasted this part of it. This month, I am only, for contrast reasons, at SC20. Last month, I hit 156. Am I nervous? No, because I made sure the people who I brought in last month were well taken care of. We added in a free group, and I have leaders that stepped up in my organization that are running that free group. So a lot of positives came out of it. And guess what? I still have plenty of month left. I have plenty of month left. So when people say, oh, there's only 2 days left, or 1 day left, or 2 hours left to close a business, there is plenty of time to hit SC5. But what happened was I realized that I was reaching for a particular number, 5, 10, maybe 20, whatever that was, and then I was stopping my business because I was afraid there wasn't somebody there. There are always people there. And trust me, right now I'm like, ooh, I'm a little behind my goal here. That's a little scary. I just want to go crawl underneath the bed. I feel a little sad right now, a little apprehensive, a little nervous. Well, good. That means that I need to pull myself out of it and go and help people while I'm helping the people that I have. And my people are really happy. Is anybody unhappy? Yeah, there's always unhappy people. But if it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. We have a 30-day money back guarantee. You don't have to keep anything that's not working for you. And I make sure they all know that. So tell everybody about the coaching. Tell everybody about the discount. Mindset shift. I look at every single coach. I don't care if they are a super rank, superstar, millionaire club, or somebody who just hit Emerald or just sold a challenge pack. To me, growth comes in many, many, many forms. I don't put the value only at those who are at the upper echelons of the business because they got there somehow. I'm always really intrigued by those who are finally getting it and they're getting there, right? I realized that in all of this, that I can always do better and be better. But when I stop talking to people, or I think I'm talking to enough people, I'm not. I'm good, but I could be great. I'm not working at a level of great or working at a level of being greater. I am working at a level of doing the bare minimum to get to where I need to go, and then I can sit back and go and manage my team. I think the biggest problem that we have is this ideal that our job is to manage our team. It's not. How do I get people to build their business? If I can't get somebody to do something in their fitness or their business, I am not here to drag bodies. I have a coach that offered me an opportunity, and the least I can do as a thank you for the game changer he has brought to me, and I mean every single incarnation from broken homeless being able to pay my groceries to six-figure income, is to make sure that I take good care of my business and my team, because we're part of a team. We're part of the crew who's a part of a bigger team, which is Team Beachbody. I have a responsibility to my family, myself, those that I work with, to my upline coach, to our mothership teams, to our founding coaches, to our business. I have a responsibility to do the work. I am not here to talk people into being successful or doing their work. If you show you're doing the work, I will go to the next level. But the least I can do is hold on to my diamond. The least I can do is to continue to work in the area I need to. 80% of my time to 90% of my time is spent on my own business, not trying to convince other people to do the work that they need to do. My why is too big. My why is way too big. If I have people that are on my team and they don't want to do the work, you can sit back and not do the work, but please don't keep asking the exact same question. I would not disrespect my coach like that. And that's not the way I used to feel, because the way I used to do it was I wanted Jimmy to know all the struggles, all the drama, all the difficulties, all the reason why. And I realized that I was an energy vampire. That it was important for me to lay my shroud of darkness on him so he understood, and it was more comfortable for him to, see, this is why I can't be successful, because of these 50 things. And believe me, my story is pretty big. My story is really, really big. And so I was really good at putting that shroud of darkness on other people, because then they had less expectation for me, which took the expectation off of myself. And I could just sit there and be whatever level of success that I was comfortable in being, and sitting in my own misery, which is very, very comfortable. I learned very quickly, at one point, Chalene Johnson, I was in a private mentorship she had, and she said, not quite this way, but this is what it was. You need to go to counseling, you and your husband. Because my husband and I are about ready to break up. We've been through a lot. And it just got to a point where I was just done. And this was 3 years ago, this next month. 3 years ago next month. And so I went, and the therapist I chose happened to be Shalene's best friend, Dr. Michaela Sarno. And she said to me, Tulin, what do you want? What do you want to accomplish? And I said, I want to feel safe and secure. Have any of you guys ever heard Dr. Sarno's story? Oh, listen, I thought life was rough for us. There is no, that is a story that blew my mind. She said, Tulin, the world's never been safe and secure. And I realized I was working for the wrong thing. I was trying to work for this level of comfort. I was trying to work for this level of where things don't go wrong anymore, where business just keeps growing. Life is beautiful and full of flowers. And once I hit that state, that I know I'm doing it well. And then I realized was actually I need to constantly be in a state of discomfort and growth. That growth happens in the discomfort, and that when doors shut, I now get really excited about it. I'm like, I can't wait for what door is going to open. Case in point, when we lost everything. My credit was down in the 200s or 300s, really, really low. Our eviction just came off of our credit. These are all things that were not our fault, but it is our responsibility given the circumstance we were in. And the credit guy that we're working with said, you know what, you need to not beat yourself up about this because you did the time. I did the time. I'm not the one that went to prison, but we did the time. And so we're trying to rent a home. We've got great income. We have money saved. As of last week, my husband still had the eviction on one of his credit reports, but we told him it's not there anymore, but we're very open. And I talk about the story openly online. And people right now are unwilling to rent to us. They can't trust us. They're still judging us off a number. So my credit's finally up to 700, which is awesome, but everything is just still slightly too low in different areas. And there's too many people trying to go for these homes that we want to rent. We're not ready to buy yet. And we're being judged by a number, and doors are slamming left and right on our face. And I made a promise when I talked to you guys about a why. I made a promise to my kids that we would move into a home with a backyard that my son could play in. This is the second apartment we lived in, just one building over from when we went broken homeless. We have stayed put and rebuilt our lives. The reason why I'm able to do in my business is because I'm out willing to work everyone else, and I'm out willing to work my own excuses. And I'll never look at my kids again and say, I can't. Now, we might have to make some adjustments right now because of some things we can't do anything about. We have to wait for our credit to be a little higher, for money to season in the bank. I didn't even know about it. I'm like trying to rent a home. You'd think I was like trying to make like a major, house purchase, the rental. And it's just, it is what it is for where we live. And we need to stay here because of our kids' school. And it was a gut check. But the best thing that happened is having all those doors shut, because I learned so much about what realtors look for and what we needed to fix. And we got into deep adulting. And every time the door shut, I'm like, what can I learn from that? How is that going to advance our life? And I know that now when we start really digging into what we have to do, and while it's hard to tell our kids, hey, we got denied on that house we really, really love, again, and probably July isn't going to happen, we have a strong game plan in place. And you betcha I'm going to let absolutely nothing, no sadness, no depression, no anxiety, no curveballs the universe is going to throw at me, keep me away and my husband away, because we work together, from making this happen for us. My why is too big. So the reason why I get high SC and I recruit really, really high is because I'm willing to outwork you. And you could be willing to outwork me. And that's the only decision. It was a decision I had to make. And that wasn't one I was willing to make for a long, long, long time. And that's actually a statement that I've only just recently started to own in the past couple of weeks, where I realized I said, I outwork people. I outwork my excuses. But
I think the more profound thing is that you outwork your excuses.
I do outwork my excuses. So there's nothing that I'm doing that you can't do. Mm-hmm. And we get stuck in philosophies. We get stuck in this idea. And I see it happen in the I'm here to help wall. Well, I'm here to help people, so I don't want to get high SC. Excuse my language. I call bullshit on that. I give so much on a daily basis in social media for free. I give so much to my team. There is nothing in there that's copy paste that didn't come from learning how to work with the type of woman I am, the struggles that I have, that was built specifically for them. I challenge anyone to say to someone else, because they're getting high SC or they're recruiting high, that somehow that they care less about people. It's the opposite. I don't want to be a hypocrite. And if I'm here to help people, and if I have a gift and an ability and a purpose to help more people, and that's what my gift is, then I'm going to go and help more people. And maybe I'm not sitting at, 15-star diamond, but trust me, that'll help an adventure too, because I know there's at least 15 people out there that want to do this and build this business. I know that for a fact. It is mathematically impossible for there not to be other people out there who want to build this business. It is mathematically impossible for other people out there to believe Beachbody Blue. If this isn't for you, I bless you and let you go. But I can shout from the rooftops that I am a Beachbody coach. So much so, I can stand there at 260 pounds, 300 pounds, 330 pounds, 350 pounds, and call myself a proud plus-size Beachbody coach. What happens if you're not plus size? I don't know. I'll tell you when I get there. Because I'm constantly evolving, and so is my business.
Oh my God. Blown away. And I might cry. My team knows that I cry very easily, but you're just phenomenal. And I love the tough love. I love the heart and just everything you bring to your team and what you have to offer. And I just feel so blessed that you brought all that to our team tonight. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Incredible.
And I got to be totally honest with you. I learned a lot about my own leadership last month. I learned a lot. I had a lot of people from corporate telling me there are people who couldn't hit like higher than 20 that hit 64 SC points by the 7th this month by being a part of this push thread that I created. And believe me, being in a group with Carl is a little scary. Like, I don't like to talk too much to that high recruit. I know he knows, he looks at our numbers, right? But I don't like promote that, so to speak. But it was really difficult. And so here I am with all these people I really, really admire, and in with people who have this different philosophy than me. I said, I'm just going to start this little corner over here. Anybody else want to push to help more people this month? And if it's not for you, that's okay. But in other words, I don't need to hear this little corner right here is for people who want to push and get outside their comfort zone. And these people they talk to so many more people, because I am willing to talk to more people in whatever way that looks like. I'm willing to talk to more people. And they kept talking to more people. They were doubling, tripling, quadrupling their best months last month, came into this month and closed a bunch of people to help them out, hitting beyond what they did the month before in their first week of the month. And I went, okay, so I could have said, well, why isn't my team doing that? Shouldn't my team do that? sometimes we just listen to other people. Sometimes we listen to the aunt, not the mom. But I learned so much about my own ability and my own ability to stand in my leadership and to stand proud in that. And, you know, for example, people ask me, like, what's your favorite PD right now? It's hands down Relentless. Relentless told me, it actually came from Melissa McAllister. She said, have you read the book Relentless? And I said, no. And she goes, you're a cleaner. You need to go read that book. And I'm so glad she told me that, because I actually was able to step into my strengths and my abilities and have no shame that I was willing to do whatever it took to get it done and be really proud of that. And that doesn't mean that you have to work at that level. There's some people high recruit. There might be some people bringing 10 coaches a month and pop 2 diamonds. My ladies, I'm willing to hang out with them 2, 3, 4 years to get them to embrace and love and see that they have something to offer, and I have patience. That doesn't make me any less of a leader than someone else, because that time is coming too. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Every word of it. I don't know. Shayna, do you have anything to add?
I have nothing to add. That was fantastic. The one thing I do actually have a question on, because I've heard your story before, and I know you talked a little bit to us today about how you kind of struggled with self-confidence and self-worth when you were first starting with coaching. And I have a few people like that who I'm talking to who are either challengers or coaches. And what personal development, what kind of stuff did you do to kind of pull out of that I could possibly recommend to them to help them in that situation?
And the first one I started off with, I remember the first thing I read, and I only needed the first couple of chapters of it, was The Power of Habit. But the one that had the most profound effect on me was the compound effect. Okay. And I realized that I was compounding in the wrong direction. And I realized, I'm like, well, it's a compound. It's just like step by step by step, layer by layer by layer. And I think that I'm going to use my son as an example. So my son used to get really bad grades this semester. He's pretty much a C student. Well, he's just a C student. Yeah, but he used to get really bad grades. And he understands the importance now, and he's an athlete. He's in basketball. He puts a lot of extra time on the court. He understands that, but he also understands that there's a lot of extra stress in having to pull your grades through at the very last minute. Well, some people could look at that and go, well, he hasn't done a complete 180. How is that successful? It is, because he had self-awareness, made a tweak, self-awareness, made a tweak, self-awareness, made a tweak, made self-awareness, whatever order that was. It was like little incremental, as thin as a piece of paper, progress that just started adding up. And now he's like, you know what? I don't want to be a C student anymore. Because one of his coaches, who used to be his freshman coach, who had such a sense of belief in him, it was unbelievable. Like when somebody believes in you, believe them. This is such a perfect example of that. So you know what it's like, Rayhan? It's like, you're dribbling to the basket, so your back's to the basket like this, and you turn around and you're about ready to, take that shot, and you go, nah, I'm not going to take that shot. That's the equivalent of not doing your homework, not studying for your tasks. You wouldn't do that in the court. You can't do it in the classroom. And so I've watched my son mature. As a matter of fact, he's way more mature than I was at 17 years old. He has a much stronger foundation of what this all means in growth. And so I celebrate his growth. So sometimes, again, we have to look at these people who are struggling with where they are, and sometimes their improvement is just paper thin. But if you don't give up on them, if they don't give up on themselves, that will eventually add up. But the truth is, it's going to be the few, Shayna. It's going to be the few, because it's so much more comfortable and so much, quote unquote, easier to stay where we are. It's so much easier to let our difficulties or the things that our lack of self-belief, just easier just to be identified or titled that way. And then that way we don't have to move forward. There's no expectation. And to me, I was put on this earth for a reason. We all were put on this earth for a reason. And what a disservice we're doing, whatever your faith is, to not take advantage of that, because somebody took their last breath today. How are we not living in the grace of being able to take another breath, or 10 or 20 or 10 years ago? Somebody else took their last today. So I always remind myself of that, because I wasted a lot of years where I can't even remember. I can't even remember the first 2 years of my little ones. I really can't, just with everything we're going through. And I never want to live that life anymore. So I stay really, really present, even in the difficulties. So unfortunately, most people are not willing to do that work.
Yeah. I love that, though. That's a great message, and so true. And I feel like everybody has to come to it in their own time. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I would love your tough love to the moms. You can talk right to me, because the mom guilt gets thick. Let's hear it.
Andy needs the mom guilt tough love for sure.
Well, and here's the deal is, you were on the 5-star call today, you said? You were, right?
I couldn't be on, but I'm going to watch the recording later. But
okay, so I have a very strong opinion that both are right. Okay. So Melissa, for example, was on there. She's like, you know what? I can't do what I did last month. The reason why I left my job so I can be there for my kids. And this is really important. So I'm going to pull back. And so very respectfully, I said, I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying, because I think that that's very true and right. But on the flip side is, I remember not being able to buy my kids shoes, and that's not the life we led. Like, the life we led was quite the opposite of where we landed. Okay. Now, when I look at the front of my house, there's about 30 pairs of shoes sitting there between my son's basketball shoes and practice shoes. And my little one's got multiple pairs of shoes, and I've got different tennis shoes, and, blah, blah, blah. And I look at that pile by the door, and I'm so proud of it. It actually makes me happy, because we were able to get some things. They're just shoes, I understand, but to us, it means more than that. To us, it means that we were able to do something for our kids. So I think that you really have to evaluate when we say, well, I got to be there for our kids. So one of the beautiful things that happened with the door shutting on us right now, being out about us renting right now, which again, they're all great reasons, because we've moved so far up in our ability to be able to do this. We just got to have a little patience, and some of that requires credit to get a little better, money to season our account. All I mean by seasoning is that money isn't just in there like overnight and then gone. They want to see that it's been consistently in your account. And so my husband and I are like, okay, we're going to make memories this year. So we're going to bust our butt every day, all night, if that's what it takes. And then we're going to take a weekend and go do a staycation. We're going up to Northern California for Melissa. She has her event. So we're actually going to do a road trip up there and stop off in some places. And when we're coming back down, we're going to go through San Francisco, go to Alcatraz, and do that kind of stuff. So my son, well, it's also a working trip, but my son gets undivided attention and memories with us. We're going to some other places we've been looking at locally, some local hotels and resorts that we can go and do that. So I bust my butt 5, 6, 9 days, whatever it is. My son's having a great time at summer camp. We were never able to put him in sports, never able to put him in summer day camp, never able to do any of those. He's in a STEAM group. They go to like Knott's Berry Farm and Disneyland and do all this kind of stuff that makes him happy, something that we can give him, but at the same time, we can take our own time and have more quality time with them. We work from home. We're home every single day. Our kids come home from school. We're home. But you know what they see us do? They see us working for our dream and their dream, and they understand that. They understand that. And then when we have time together, we have time together. We had a basketball tournament this weekend. It all revolved around my 17-year-old. You're talking about that kid when most kids were sleeping in or playing video games, he said, Mom, can I go train with Jamal for a couple of hours before my tournaments? He was playing against kids that are like, their fathers are current NBA players or former NBA players. Colleges were there. And I got to sit there on the court and like, oh, I can go into my group right now. Nope. Behind in my emails, behind in my groups. I told them this morning, I said, if I miss something that was really important that my eyes need to be on top of, go ahead and re-email me. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that everybody got their stuff taken care of, because I teach them to stand on their own 2 feet. So my mommy guilt is the other, is that I can't offer them the things and the time that they deserve, because I took everything. Time took everything away from them. Their homes, their times, their parents, the depression that we were under, the yelling, the screaming, the stress. We laugh.
Them coming home and you sleep.
Yeah, them coming home and me in bed. I was home, not working, giving them all my time, but I couldn't get out of my own way. So I think that you really have to evaluate, and I think it's going to be whatever's right for you. Our kids can't be the excuse. They have to be the reason. And if there's something we can't give them or something we want to do, but we're like, we want more balance in our life because this is what they think that they want and this is what they think they need. For me, I would rather be able to shut down and have like super quality time with them versus living in the, some people give people a hard time. Oh, you're a work at home mom. You're not a stay at home mom. So you're not really there for your kids. I challenge somebody to tell me that I'm not there for my kids, because my kids can walk here and talk to me about anything. Both parents are home. So how am I any less present for my kids than someone else?
Thank you. Love it. Exactly what I needed to hear. I do this with the mom guilt where I'm like,
we all do
everything you just said. And then sometimes I'm like,
And it's not like I don't go through that, or my husband goes through. I mean, I'm pretty guilty right now about what we have, because I made a promise for July. That's what we've been working towards. And July isn't happening, you guys. It is not happening. But you set this time period, right? Like, for example, listen, I've been meaning to lose this weight that I've had on me for the past 4 years, but I gained 43. I actually lost about 120 pounds. I gained 43 pounds. Okay. I also got over my knee injury. I also got over my foot injury. I didn't quit on myself. I was able to get back on track, figure my stuff out, got stronger in my mind. As a matter of fact, the squats you see me do right now only happened because of the freaking knee injury. Because I had to go back to basics. I had to go back and focus on form. I had to go back and do these things. Like, I hated squats and lunges. Now I'm obsessed with them because they were taken away from me. And also, I have this thing about legs. If I have the ability to walk upright on my two legs and not have them go out on me, or not have a graceful ballet dive like my husband did at our tournament this weekend, of course, everybody stops. I'm like, it's all right. He's just been drinking. Or like, no, it's just his MS. You tell people. And they go, oh, okay. And they see you not running towards him. And he just kind of does a little ballet move and gets back up and starts walking, right? But I have something that he doesn't have. So I better take really good care of what I have out of respect for what he worked so hard to get back. Does that make sense? I've always put it in perspective. That's why I'm saying, like, life is so tough. Life is hard for those who are successful at the top. You know, more money, more problems, whatever it is. It is tough for everyone. It's just we want to play this comparison game. So stop talking to people about your problems, because there are more people in that pond than this little over here, like this little cup of coffee, you know, where the other people in here who are like pushing to get to the next level because they're lifting you up because you're willing to work and lift yourself up. We all want to go hang out in the pond of people struggling and suffering. And trust me, I'm a little down right now. I'm struggling right now with like trying to get my mind right. I've lost a little bit of my momentum having taken the time off for the tournaments and then getting everybody set up. I'm stressed out about that too. It doesn't go away. I just know that I need to get back into the groove again. And when I get that groove going, it's when I stop it. How do I avoid stopping it? And that I wasn't prepared for in the past couple of weeks. I literally put a stop at it. And that's the business killer. So where I am right now is going to harvest 6 to 8 weeks from now, versus if I was a little better at it, over the past couple of weeks, then I wouldn't have come to a complete stop. But here's the beauty of that. I have that self-awareness. I'm like, okay, you did this. Next time you do this, you're going to do it more this direction, or here's how you can get in the driver's seat on that. I wouldn't be able to do that if I didn't have the experience.
Absolutely. Makes total sense. Does anybody else have any other questions?
I love questions.
Yay, Shannon.
I just want to say, like, I absolutely love you.
Oh,
like,
my husband likes me too.
Seriously. I think that, like, everything that you have said tonight is just been, like, totally hit home and so phenomenal. And I can't wait to go and watch, like, your story on YouTube and all of that, because, like, if there's anything, I just love, like, a great comeback story. So I just personally wanted to thank you for taking the time to come on the call and talk to us tonight. And it literally, like, lit a new fire under my rear end.
So Shannon, I'm going to ask you a question real quick. How many people a day do you talk to on a daily basis consistently, on average?
See, right now, that's where I'm struggling, because on average, I talk to maybe between 10 and 20 people a day.
Okay. So before you go and watch my video, you're going to go talk to 50 people.
Okay.
And then you go watch my video. Because you know why? Because I want you to watch my video. It's just in a moment of quiet. And I don't want you to you've got this fire in your belly right now, and I want you to put it in the right place. You know my story. You're going to watch my story. When that fire is lit, go have it be so lit to go and help other people change their lives. And when you have that quiet time, or as your PD in the morning, go listen to it as your personal development in the morning. I'm only saying that to you because I want you to go talk to more people. And if I can drive a group of people that were in that 1,000 people group with the Carl group, I can drive you. You know what I'm saying? So I want you to put the energy in the right place. So I do want you to go watch my story. And I did say go watch it. But I'm going to challenge you to go 2 and 3 times what you normally do. And then go watch it.
All right. You got it.
Now everybody's going to be afraid to ask me a question. But you know why, you guys? Because I know you can do it. I totally know you can do it. I just witnessed it this past month.
Yay, Cassidy.
Hey, you are phenomenal. You are an amazing speaker, and you're an amazing woman, and high five to that. I'm a fairly new coach. I just am about 6 weeks now as a coach. And one of the things I struggle with, of course, because I'm so new, I do struggle with confidence and what to say to people. I mean, it seems like for you, it's so easy what to say to people, but it's often I get people on a roll and I'm talking to them and then I'm just like, gah.
Okay, so let me guess. So this is what's happening. You're talking to people. You go, okay, should I talk about Shakeology now? Okay, no, I should wait. Should I tell them about the group now? Okay, no, I should wait. Should I tell them? Okay, I should wait. Is this now time to talk about Shakeology? And so what's happened is, and all I'm going to tell you to do, Cassie, you're 6 weeks in. I need you to hang out for a year. And then in a year, I want you to reflect back and look at your growth. And then I want you to be here for another year. And then from there, I want you to reflect back on year 1, year 2, and then be here another year. Because this is a legitimate business, right? And what I want you to remember, and my success partner says it so eloquently, we're just having a conversation. Because if you were having a conversation with someone and somebody said, oh my gosh, I just saw Wonder Woman. I'm totally not into comics. And I saw Wonder Woman and I freaking loved it. Oh my gosh, I got to send you the link to the super cute Wonder Woman 10 issues. I got to send that to you right now. Are you serious? I'm totally getting them. I know, dude. I just bought a pair. How is that any different than Shakeology? Because the conversation was natural, right? Like, we're so busy, and trust me, we all do this. We all do this. We don't know when to tell them about Shakeology. It's not about you telling about Shakeology. It's about them getting to know their goals and struggles. And then when you guys start talking about this, what'll happen is they'll start watching you consistently posting online. They're like, I really need to do what you're doing. Just go, what are you struggling with? What are your goals? What are your struggles? I say this over and over again. I don't know how this thing does not have like 1 million trillion views. Overcoming Objections Part 4 and 5 on YouTube by Barbie Decker prior to being Kalev. Go listen to that. And I had that plugged in my ears, Cassidy, in the first, my coach told me about it, probably the first 6 months of my business. I still use that wording because it really spoke to my heart. It was my language, okay? In my own words, but it really spoke to my heart. And so if you just realize that you're just having a conversation, and some conversations are longer than others, who you talk to today, that relationship will evolve over the next 6 to 8 weeks. I said to you, I received 156 SC points. I didn't get to 156 SC points. I received them for helping people get started. So for you, you want to focus on, I'm going to tell you, you're going to go for SC12. You're going to receive SC12. So that means you're helping 6 people. You have 6 people in your life that need help right now. But what's going to happen is, Cassidy, I want you to keep having conversations, and then I don't want you to stop when you hit 12, because I need you to trust me and believe me when I tell you that the well is not going to dry up. I represent over 70% of this population that's obese. Okay? That's not the only person that needs your help. There are people out there who very specifically need what Cassidy is bringing, because they can buy Shakeology from anyone. We lead with the product, we lead with the program, we lead with all of that way too much. I barely mentioned Shanti. I barely mentioned Shakeology because we don't have the confidence in ourselves and we feel like we have to lead with the product, and that's the problem. Don't lead with the product. Just have conversations with people. And don't worry about, is this a good time to have the Shakeology conversation. But like I said, if they said, oh my gosh, I totally got this new protein powder. I totally love it. Oh, that's so awesome. I actually drink Shakeology. Well, what is Shakeology? Is that protein powder? It's actually not protein powder. I mean, there's protein in it, but I drink it for my dense nutrition, whatever that is. And then now you're starting to exchange conversation, right? But you haven't sold them anything, but you always want to make sure they know and go, yeah, I actually represent Beachbody. Like, I get a discount on it. Are you serious? Yeah. And I totally, how'd you know? I got it for 30 days for free. I mean, I'm sorry, not for free. I had a 30-day money back guarantee on it. Like, I could try it for every single day, and if I didn't like it, I could return it. So I was hooked, and I never went back. Whatever your story is. But you see, I didn't lead with it has 70 powerful super nutrients and this and that. And for some people that really works, but that would make no sense coming out of my mouth. It just wouldn't, right? But for some people it does. That's kind of the angle that works for them and their languaging and their area of expertise. I'm just a fat girl on a journey to fit. And these are the things that I'm learning, and this is what I have to share, and I help other people on their journey while I'm on the journey. I don't have all the answers. I don't know all the answers. I don't know about that, but all I know is this. That goes back to Tommy Migrant and Mike Ryan. So the thing that I don't think a lot of people understand is that this business can grow as fast as you want. I gave myself 186% raise last month. I have the ability to do that. You have the ability to do that. But your 186% raise is going to look a lot different than my 186% raise because I've been here longer, right? But here's the thing. Business grows incrementally over time. And you are going to be more often in the build phase or in the stale phase than you are going to be sitting at the top of your growth. Okay? In any business. If you're in a business, they say, oh, you're just going to zoom to the top and make a lot of money. You can, because you're in the driver's seat of your business. So you can grow it as much as you want, but I need you to know that business has a lot of down times, a lot of quiet times, a lot of difficult times. And that's not the time you redo all your systems. If you find something that works, stick with it. Make one tweak. See, or do an A/B split. Try it this way and then try it this way and see which way works for you. See which way is converting more for you. Be willing to try things out versus staying in the busy of redeveloping. And the other thing for anybody, brand new or not, trust the system that Beachbody or that your coach has given you. Trust that system because she's going to help you avoid having to reinvent the wheel. And then be willing to do the work and then go, is it Andy, your coach? Cassidy? Okay. So you know the best thing you can do whatever steps she's told you. Go back and go, I did these steps. They're right here. What's next? Show her you did the work because too often we want to go back to our coach and tell her the reasons why we couldn't get the work done. But we never show the work we actually did. And that was something I really, really learned in like different mentorships that I've been a part of. I wanted Shalene to know I did my work. But I didn't realize how profound that was to me until I had top coaches going, hey, do you mind just hopping on a call and sharing with me what you do in your recruiting? I'm like, dang, you're like multi-millionaire, 15-star diamond. I don't know how many times. And they're asking me, but you know what? I'm so willing to get information because they were so willing from afar for me to learn from them. The least I can do is be able to help them. There's nothing they can take away from me. What do I have to lose? We have an overall goal, which is to help people, and they're willing to share their answers. Every single one of them came back to me and goes, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. And they showed their work. That's what successful people do. They show the work to the person that was willing to give them their time. So ask yourself, can I show my coach the work? Not because she's here to manage me or to double check my work or to take out, a pink or a red pen and do that, but because I respect the time and value what you're bringing, not because you have all the answers, but because you're willing to tell me everything that I need to know to be successful. I'm doing that for you right now. I'm taking an hour out of my night from my heart and going, here are my best practices. One of you guys will take action on it. And only on one element. But you guys could break that statistic. But I'm still willing to come on here and know that probably only one of you guys are actually going to implement it and have it make it work your business, because you're still going to walk away from this call. Well, it's because she's fat, and it's because of this, and it's because of her YouTube followers, because of her Facebook. I built all that over time. I am no different than you. I'm just willing to outwork you right now. And that is not a thing that you're born with. That is a skill that you learn over time. That is a muscle you build over time. There is no difference. I'm telling you guys, that whole experience I had, and we're doing it again this month, and the I'm Here to Help opened my eyes and said, you have so much patience. You will have those coaches that will see the gift in you and go and trust you and go and show the work. I know I will. But it took me to do that for the network. And I didn't do it going, okay, I'll get something back from it. I did it from here. And that's the thing that's very unusual about Beachbody is that, yes, does your coach benefit from you getting successful? Of course. And you benefit from the more successful that she is, and vice versa. It's a team. It is the most unusual team environment in the sense that my son can't go out in the basketball court and go, I don't feel like playing today. I care less if I make a basket, and be the weak link. He can't. He has to bring whatever strength he has or that thing that he's working on. He's got a responsibility. He has to do that job. Well, that's what we all do. We're willing to share our answers. I don't know of any other company I've ever worked with. People go, here's my system. Here's my this. But stop looking at the scripts. Can I say that? Stop asking for scripts. The magic isn't in the script. It's not in what Andy's saying or how do you handle this or how do you do that. What you do is say, here's the objection I have. Here's what I wrote. And then go, this is what I'm going to send. Do you have any feedback? Go do the work first. Don't wait for the script, because they've learned in the I'm Here to Help group, like, what's your script? What's your process? And I'm like, you're missing the point. We all have the same scripts. We all have the same process. We all know the 5 steps or whatever that thing is. That's not where the answer is. The answer is those who are willing to go out and talk to more people. I got to update this. It's probably closer down here now, okay? So I like visuals. I go for no, and I don't stop at no. Here's no. I don't. I mean, I'm so known for no's. Yes, there's a grammatical error, but it's not a grammatical error. I didn't do it. This was actually the St. Louis Market Council made this to me. It says no's, give me O's. That fell out of my mouth during a call because they do. And the author of Go for No saw the meme and reached out to me. Now we're friends. Andrea. It's very, very true, you guys. And, Carl's thing was, well, don't stop at no. I don't stop at no. I go for no, but I don't stop at no. Every no is filled with fear. Every single one. And you're not going to be good at any of these things that I told you that you want to start implementing tomorrow. Pick one and put it into practice and put it into practice. I swear on all things holy, there is nothing that I'm doing that you guys can't do. Not one accolade, not income. You guys can blow past everything that I've done. And you know what else? I can blow past everything I've done too. And I can blow past what anybody else has done in this company because they showed me what's possible. I never look at them and say, oh, well, it's just, if I ever say it's just because, or that's because, or they just are, there's some sort of a unicorn. There are no unicorns in this company, not one, unless they dress up like one, not one, and they're willing to share their answers. I only look and say, look what's possible.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
Incredible. All right, guys. Does anybody have anything else to ask Tulin before we let her go? No.
Are you guys all in Cali?
We're all over the place.
All over.
Arizona.
Arizona. Andy's in San Marcos, right?
Yeah.
And where are you? Is it Loretta? I can't read lips.
I'm in Redding.
Oh, in Redding. Okay. I'm in Huntington Beach. So, well, right on, guys. I hope that was helpful, and don't walk away just feeling if you might not be like, girl, listen, I'm done. Don't walk away, be inspired. Go take action. And then go show Andy. Don't tell her what action you take. Show her what action takes. Step outside that comfort zone. That's where your growth is.
Thank you.
Love it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Thank you. That was an awesome call.
Yay. Awesome, guys. Bye.
All right. Bye. I think you're still recording, girl.